Hello, everyone. We should get closer to the fucking goddamn microphone. Hello, everyone. I'm Drachona, and this is a really quick, maybe, unscripted thought on the movie Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, or rather, on its reception. I'm just going to pose a really simple, straightforward question. What the fuck is wrong with you people? What the flying fuck is wrong with you people? I can't believe how many people are shitting on this movie. People whose opinions I generally respect. Like Doug and Rob, like Angry Joe, just all kinds of people. I can't believe, even when I tell people like, hey, I saw Valerian, it was a really good movie, it was entertaining. And people tell me, really? I heard that it wasn't well received, and it was supposedly a bomb. Of course, I don't know how you expect something to be successful when, you start it off in the smaller theaters. It's like you're asking for it to not be as successful. And to be fair, things like Dunkirk, War for the Planet of the Apes, there are a lot of movies coming out at one time. It was kind of a bad time, but what pisses me off is that people aren't giving this any credit. I'm not trying to defend this movie as something that's great. I'm not saying, oh my god, it was a great movie. But this is exactly what I thought when I sat down. When I sat down in the theater, I thought, please let this be good. Like, not just borderline good, where I walk out thinking, did I like that? But, like, good, where I walk out satisfied. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. I was satisfied. It was entertaining. It was visually beautiful. The opening scene on the new planet, just this entirely new planet, it's like, yeah, okay, they kind of look like Avatar people, but the visuals, it was so bright, it didn't have to rely on being dark. It was fucking beautiful. I was worried that the CG was all just going to be too unconvincing, but it was fucking beautiful. That kind of creativity is what I want to see in movies. Like, I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. And I love the fact that, like, in the new Star Wars films, they use a lot of practical effects. But that kind of beauty and creativity is what I want to see in fucking sci-fi films. I want to see something that looks like, basically, somebody took concept art and made it real. That kind of artistic creativity. I want to see more of that. I'm very emotional on this because, to me, I can't understand why do we shit on movies that are good? They're not horrible. Like Rob Walker saying, that some of the acting is like Tommy Wiseau level of acting, that the movie's just dumb, stupid, dumb, just kept saying dumb, stupid over and over and over again. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, look, yeah, I like Fifth Element, but Fifth Element is just a goofy movie. It's entertaining, but you can tell that the idea came from a child's mind. It's a goofy fucking movie. This movie is not like The Fifth Element in that way. It's like The Fifth Element in some ways, stylistically, but it doesn't have fucking, Chris Tucker. I almost said Chris Rock. It doesn't have fucking Chris Tucker. It doesn't have some of the goofy designs. It doesn't have fucking Gary Oldman. That movie's great. It's not supposed to be completely serious. But are we really saying that this movie is more goofy than that? I don't understand why people are not giving it enough credit. It's like, it's a serious movie, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. I'm not saying that, like, it was a hilarious movie. It wasn't a hilarious movie, but it wasn't supposed to be hilarious. There were times where you could tell they're trying for humor and it doesn't really work, but it doesn't ruin it. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, like, I'm sitting in the fucking theater and Pitch Perfect 3, the trailer for Pitch Perfect 3 comes on, and people laugh when fucking Rebel Wilson makes the obesity joke. People laugh at that. But then people are walking away from Valerian and saying, well, it wasn't a perfect movie. Of course it wasn't a fucking perfect movie. It's based on a comic from the 60s. I don't understand this. This is exactly what happened with John Carter, and it pisses me off. I see a movie that is entertaining. Now, I actually really like John Carter. You know, it's an entertaining book series, and I thought that it was a cool movie. It was a cool way to introduce people to the concept by meshing together a few of the ideas and creating a movie that was legitimately entertaining and left it where you could do more with it. I mean, at least it was somewhat conclusive. But then a lot of people just didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like John Carter, and it's like, and this is even worse. To me, it's like, this is not as good as John Carter, in my opinion, or at least I didn't like it as much, but I liked it. And it pisses me off that so many people are like, well, you know, it was a dumb movie, or, you know, it was a, you know, whatever, a beautiful garbage fire, or whatever, you know, it just pisses me off. It's like, what the fuck are you people thinking? This is precisely why the Emoji Movie exists. This is why Pitch Perfect 3 exists. This is why Daddy's Home 2 exists. It's because we are so complacent when it comes to shit, to absolute, pure, USDA-approved shit. Because we are hypercritical about, you know, towards movies that don't deserve it. It's like, what do you want? What do you fucking want? This movie was entertaining. It was unique. It was visually beautiful. You know, it wasn't boring. Okay, the acting wasn't perfect. The writing wasn't perfect. Nothing about the movie was perfect, but nothing about the trailers, nothing about the promotions, what few there were, suggested that it was perfect. Nothing suggested that. If you went in with that expectation, you're a moron. It was a sci-fi movie. It was supposed to be fun and exciting, and for me, it was. It seems like a lot of people say it's like, oh yeah, it was visually cool, or like this and this were cool, and that was cool, and it's like, it was a unique film. I'm not saying that like, it had completely new ideas, that it broke the mold, but I didn't expect it to do that. And it wasn't supposed to do that. It didn't advertise that it was going to do that. It advertised that it was a movie adaptation of something that was old, kind of like John Carter, bringing that idea into the present, and obviously updating it. And there were a lot of really cool things about this. There were a lot of really interesting ideas and beautiful scenery. And to think that shit, because of how people are responding to this movie, we're not going to see that shit now. Thanks. Thanks, motherfuckers. Because of your criticism of this movie, because it bombed, we're not going to see that shit. Thanks. Thank you. No, yeah, I'm sorry. This is your fault. This is your fault. Entirely your fault. I'm not saying that a movie should get praise if it doesn't deserve it. But what I am saying is that you should appreciate something for what's good about it, because you know what? Then, you know what the studio's not gonna do? Make a sequel. Then they might actually have time to make a movie that pleases people, to make something that's better, to make something that's really cool and unique. Something that actually satisfies you assholes. Jeez. It just annoys me. Because you know what we are gonna get? More stupid fucking comedies. More lame recycled horror movies. More lame everything. Jesus, people. What are you thinking? I don't understand people. I love movies so much, and I see all these people who love movies. They just absolutely love movies, and they go see them all the time, and it's like, what is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Why are you being so harsh on a movie that wasn't claiming to be a fucking masterpiece? It claimed to be an entertaining sci-fi film, and it was. Whether you liked it or not, you have to admit, it was visually beautiful. It had some cool elements. It had interesting characters even if you didn't like the fucking acting, okay? It had really cool designs. It actually had some practical effects. Some people are saying it's like it's overloaded on CG. It's like, yeah, but at least there were fucking practical effects. It could be Geostorm. Jeez. What do you people want? I don't understand. I don't understand why a absolute pile of shit like Spy gets 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, why so many of these movies get fucking sequels. I mean, for one thing, they're easy to make. You know, the budgets are fairly low, so fair enough. But it's the fact that they get any attention. It's the fact that people like them. It's the fact that people laugh at these dumb motherfucking jokes. It's the fact that people are just eating up this stuff. People are such sheep. They're just buying the same thing over and over and over again. And when something finally different and unique comes out that doesn't look like other things at the time, that doesn't look like other things that we've had for the past few years, what do? You shit on it. You treat it like it shouldn't exist, like it was a waste of your time, like it's dumb, like it's stupid, like it was a fucking garbage fire. And you know what's gonna happen in the next few years? They're not gonna make another movie like that. They're gonna make another movie like all the other shit that's been coming out. Thanks. Again, it's your fault. I know I'm overly negative on this, and I'm not usually this way, but I don't understand, and it pisses me off. Because, I don't know, maybe my taste is just horrible. I like movies like Oblivion, Edge of Tomorrow, John Carter. I like these movies that are different. Maybe they're not the most original ideas, but they're different and they're entertaining and they're cool, they're fun to watch. It's not just the same shit regurgitated over and over and over again, okay? It's not some new road trip movie. It's not some new... It's complicated, knockoff made by the same people who made that movie. It's not Pitch Perfect 3. It's not Daddy's Home 2. It's not all the same shit again and again and again. It's actually somewhat different. I'm not saying you have to like it just because I did, but surely there's something to like. If you like that kind of movie, surely there's something you can take away from it. It's like you're dismissing everything that is entertaining about it just because it didn't live up to your unrealistic standards. Meanwhile, all this bullshit, everything else pretty much is just passing by your radar like, like all the sequels, all the remakes, all the just stupid shit, the dumb fucking ideas, and yet people don't really seem to care. People don't really seem to criticize that stuff. I don't know, maybe we're just complacent to it. We know it's gonna exist when we don't really criticize it, but it's like, then they're just gonna keep making it. If you don't stop them, guess what they're gonna do? Thanks to all these people who have criticized this shit, this movie has bombed. So it's most likely not going to get any kind of sequel, and for all we know, it probably won't get any kind of spiritual successor. It's like, thanks. All the movies that came out in the 80s and 90s that were complete risks. A movie like Ghostbusters that should not have worked. So many things about that could have gone completely wrong, but it worked. It was freaking amazing. A movie like Fifth Element that seemed so crazy. It just was a ridiculous concept, and it was goofy, and it was just so out there, but it worked. It became a classic. What has happened to us? Why is it that something that is different, that bombs right now? I feel like hopefully this is the kind of movie that will gain success in the future. It'll kind of become like a cult hit. Because otherwise, I don't understand you people. I don't understand why we're being so harsh towards a movie that is visually dazzling, that is actually unique, just because it's not 100% perfect. That's pretty much all I have to say on the subject. I just really wanted to get that out because like I said, like I keep saying, I don't understand. I don't know why it annoys me because I want to see more stuff like this, and it's because of the people who have ridiculous standards for this movie that we're not going to see more stuff like this, and it's because of their complacency in the face of crap that we're going to get Daddy's Home 3 and Pitch Perfect 4 and Transformers 27. Thank you. Thank you very much. I blame you because of your complacency and because of your completely unrealistic standards in the face of something that's actually trying. I'm Drachona, and I guess we'll see where this goes. I'm just afraid that the next movie I like is not going to be well received, and eventually they're just going to stop making movies that I like, and they're just going to keep making absolute crap. So yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, if you care to spend the money, please give it a shot. It really deserves more credit than it's been getting. It deserves more money than it's been getting. Again, I'm Drachona, and try to have a nice day.